Inquisitor, you have an urgent message from the Caligari Conclave.
It's been a while. I was starting to wonder if they had forgotten about me.
Inquisitor, the Conclave is requesting your assistance in an urgent matter. We have lost contact with the sacred archives of the Ranieli Navigator House. They are our first and foremost source of information in the sector about warp surges, shipping routes, and star systems. Reports indicate that their headquarters was struck by an ambush by Chaos forces. The data vaults of their headquarters store confidential information that cannot be allowed to get into wrong hands. The Ranieli House asked us to intervene on their behalf. We need you to find out what happened there and secure the archives by any means necessary.
Tech Priest, this Imperial facility has been abandoned for a very long time. Are you certain the Alpha Pariah is here?
The data burst from the machine spirit was an emergency signal. The Alpha Pariah left the Martyr to follow an unidentified Vox transmission originating from these coordinates.
I need more information on this place.
Cursory data siphoning reveals that the deeds of Foundation bear the seal of Uther Tiberius.
This must have been one of his secret hideouts, designated to aid his pilgrimage to the Caligari sector. Did the Martyr follow the ancient protocols?
Tagged as speculation. Suggestion. Revert to priority assignment.
Humans! No corner of the galaxy is free from their unfortunate existence.
I assume this one is with the Harbinger too.
I am an Inquisitor of Holy Terror. Explain your presence here.
Tell me, human, do you speak the language of dream riddles and dead gods?
Enough of this babble. Answer my question.
I thought so, monkey. You wouldn't understand our purpose here, not even if I wanted to answer your question. But I don't.
Interesting. Most Aeldari either live on their star-faring craft worlds or sail as corsairs.
These are proven facts.
My point is that these Eldar don't look like corsairs. So what are they doing here? And they are showing more hostility towards the Imperium than usual.
Analysis shows that their tribal heraldry is unique. These Eldar specimen don't belong to any craft world listed in the folios of the Unholy in the ship databanks.
I must investigate these Xenos, but the Alpha Pariah is the priority.
X-loading the coordinates of the Sensorium to your data slate. Access the surveillance system there. It could provide information on the Alpha Pariah and the Xenos presence. Cortical Lexicanon module has flagged in important information. Supplementary notes on the Eldar suggest that some of them might carry memory crystals, used for information storage.
That could be useful. I will examine the bodies. You were right, Tech Priest. How can I access the contents of this crystal?
Secondary analytical coils activated. Converting and X-loading data to your data slate now.
Tech Priest, I want you to dig deep into the Ordos records on the Aeldari in this subsector.
Any expanded search parameters?
I need information on the craft world Tuathol and the planet Loriach. You are authorized to use my temporary override codes. I must know why these Eldar hate the Imperium so much.
I have been compiling information on the craft world from the memory crystal.
A summary will suffice.
Tuathol is a minor craft world, primarily roaming in the Caligari sector. This Aeldari megastructure has been constantly succumbing to a significant chaos infection that is gradually turning it inhabitable. The Tuathol Aeldari have been slowly abandoning the infected craft world, relocating to the maiden worlds in the sector. This is what I have for now.
Keep me updated.
I have begun gathering information on the recent history of Maiden World Loriach.
Proceed, Megos.
Most of the information is classified, but it seems that after the recent Tyranid Hive fleet was destroyed in the subsector, a substantial number of the surviving Xenox attacked the Tuathal Maiden world and tried to assimilate the local biomass. Inquisitor, the contents of the memory crystal suggest an explanation for the hatred of the Craft World Elder.
There is no acceptable explanation for turning against the Imperium. But carry on.
The Tuathal Eldar requested assistance from the Imperium when their maiden world succumbed to the Tyranid invasion, but Thul Forge World intercepted the message. The Adeptus Mechanicus decided to purge the Tyranid threat in their own jurisdiction and ordered a full-scale exterminatus on the Aeldari world.
Sometimes one can only shudder at the cold logic of Adeptus Mechanicus operations.
Loriach has become a barren wasteland, devoid of all life. These Aeldari on their dying craft world lost their last hope of escape from their demise. They blame the Imperium for their fate.
The Tech Priest is skimming through the personal logs in the Tech Priest data hoard from the facility.
Has he found out anything interesting so far?
He highlighted a few curious details. After the excommunication of Uther Tiberius, the place was investigated thoroughly and used by the Inquisition. After a fatal Chaos incursion, it was abandoned on the order of the Caligari Conclave.
Which means that the Eldar didn't attack the station.
No, they just took possession of the facility.
The Harbinger is still in the human shrine. I need to return there immediately.
The spirit stones of our brothers and sisters are empty husks. How is this even possible?
The Harlequin warned us, and foolishly we ignored her words. I will deal with the Harbinger. You stand guard here. We have a new intruder.
Access the terminal to open surveillance mode and restore power to the facility.
I have located the Alpha Pariah. She is on Shrine, level Alpha 4. I need to return to the ship. Then I will find her. Power has been restored on all levels. Good. I have noticed a sudden swarm of cherubim. What is happening, Magos?
By restoring the power grid, you have activated the local cherub shrine.
Are these cherubim performing surveillance on this level?
This is their standard behavior pattern after an extended hibernation cycle. If I may give you some advice, you can access the information gathered at the cherubim shrine.
Good. It would be useful to know more about the Eldar forces before barging in.
The Harbinger's fate resonates in the future. We're at the crossroads, where oblivion looms close.
The one who sees his own doom can better avoid its path.
Spare me. She is dangerous. If we choose poorly, not even the Whispering God can save us.
She is magnificent, isn't she? Like the death of a son.
Her sheer existence fills me with revulsion. But still, she's just a monkey, and a weapon waiting to be used.
Quite the contrary. She has finally taken the stage. Everything will unfold from here.
Then we should play our parts too. Warriors, proceed!
Analysis. The Alpha subject has been manifesting powers currently unlisted in the classified Psyker Index.
This must be another manifestation of the unique abilities I witnessed on the Martyr. I must secure her immediately.
This is Inquisitor Kraybart speaking on behalf of the Ordo Hereticus of the Holy Inquisition. We have received your code red astropathic transmission, and our fleet is calculating arrival vector as we speak. Prepare to join our forces shortly.
Reinforcements are almost there. Why don't you just wait for them?
The Alpha Pariah has no control over her abilities, and she will react to danger fiercely. And the Ordo Hereticus are not famous for their patience. Are you trying to flee the mayhem of your own doing?
I am nothing but an observer of the unfolding tragedy.
Stop speaking in riddles. What tragedy?
The Harbinger was brought into existence for a reason. She is either the fall or the last hope of your misguided kind.
Is she now? Tell me everything about the Alpha Pariah, or I will kill you.
You have no sense of timing, human. We will meet again at a more suitable place and time.
What in the name of the Emperor was that creature?
An Eldar Harlequin. They are fierce warriors who turned war into an art form. They are agile, enigmatic, and fearsome enemies.
The persistence of your kind, Monkey, almost makes you interesting.
I will not rest until I have secured the Imperial subject.
Why? She is unnatural. She is everything we both consider repugnant.
And that is totally irrelevant to the situation.
Still, you don't need to be concerned about her. We will need her alive.
Another memory crystal. It might contain new clues.
Stay away from me! Did you see what I did to those Elder?
Yes, I saw it. You did what you had to do.
Why have you come back for me? I thought you had abandoned me.
I only left the Martyr because I had no choice. But the machine spirit reached out to me. It is still protecting you.
And what if I want to stay here? Will you kill me then?
Are you not even curious about what you really are? Don't you want to know what you could become?
That's all I've ever wanted. But you didn't answer my question.
It was a foolish question, and you don't want to hear the answer. But follow me, and we may achieve great things.
I'll go with you. I don't feel I have any choice, anyway.
What happened to Lord Inquisitor Klosterheim?
I don't know. Before we arrived here, there was a period of madness and nightmares. He was battling demons on the ship. Then he was gone. Or it was just a mad dream. But he is still gone.
Inquisitor Kraybart, you may be relieved to know that I have completed my mission, without your assistance.
We expected no less of you. However, I demand that you cease your involvement in this matter and place the Martyr and that Alpha Pariah into Ordo Hereticus custody.
I will do no such thing, Inquisitor Kraybart. I have started this investigation and I intend to finish it.
Other Tiberius was a heretic. The Martyr has clearly been a hotbed of heretical activity. This is Ordo Hereticus jurisdiction, and we will purge every last hole of that accursed ship.
The decks are swarming with daemons. Are you prepared to start a jurisdictional dispute with the Ordo Malleus as well?
I don't like your tone, Inquisitor. Not one bit.
We could make a compromise. I can give up the investigation on the Martyr, but the Alpha subject is the most intriguing asset for the Imperium we've had. I must study her abilities.
I usually don't compromise, but considering your stellar achievements in the fight against heresy, I am willing to make an exception.
I sense a but coming.
But we might need your help as well. A sudden outbreak of potentially chaos-related infestation on Cascadia Prime requires attention. We need our forces on the Martyr. If you are willing to investigate the infestation, you can take the Alpha subject with you. The Martyr cannot leave this system, though.
I can accept that compromise.
Inquisitor, you promised me answers. Then you put me in another prison cell.
You are free to wander the vessel.
Right, so I'm allowed to leave this ship, where everyone is horrified or disgusted by me, for reasons I don't even understand.
You are the subject of a highly classified inquisitorial investigation, and you must be kept under constant surveillance.
So a prisoner. What have I done to deserve such fate?
You have done nothing wrong. Yet. However, Tiberius abandoned you before you could perfect and expand your talents. Therefore, you pose a potential threat.
I don't know anything about that. I just have this energy inside me, squeezing, stretching, sometimes snapping, and then bad things happen. Like when the Martyr arrived at that fort.
What happened?
I was in a haze. I remember that the talking flesh servants on the walls were screaming at me to hide, but I couldn't. And those Elder came for me. Then I woke up properly and made them hurt.
We will study your abilities properly. I will make sure that you only use them when it is necessary.
Inquisitor, I have completed the preliminary tests on the samples from the Cascada Prime. The results are fascinating.
Fascinating has different meanings for each of us.
I will need more samples. The plague is clearly of warp origin, most probably caused by an as yet unrecorded pathogen.
The infection is spreading like wildfire through the hive. The mutant scum and the treacherous cultists have already begun exploiting the situation, leading an open rebellion.
According to Vox reports, the local enforcers have been overwhelmed, but there is an operational Astra Militarum outpost in the vicinity.
Affirmative. I will take over command. The area has been secured.
Apologies for ruining the moment of victory, but the sensors show large forces headed towards you.
Is the local Vox station still operational?
According to the readings, it is.
I'll go there and call in reinforcements.
Captain Logren of the 12th Cascadian Regiment reporting for duty.
At ease, Captain. I need an update on the situation in the hive.
It is really bad, Inquisitor. The upper hive has been overrun by these insane freaks. We have entire zones, dead and silent, that have entirely succumbed to this unholy plague.
Gather your forces, Captain, and assist me. The Emperor will guide us through these tribulations, Captain. Magos, I need your opinion on those unholy outgrowths.
The growths in the starfish look post-mortem, probably organic viral transmitters. My theory is that the pustules are emitting gaseous pathogens to hasten up the spreading of the plague. The plague is indeed the result of an artificially created mutagenic pathogen Nurgle.
Only a very powerful entity of chaos is capable of creating something like that.
The analysis of the patterns verified my theory. The outbreak originated from a specific location in this lower hive.
Send me the coordinates. But first, we need to purge this area. Otherwise, this hive is doomed. This wretch was more than a simple grunt. It might have something that could tell me more about this plague.
At your command!
The entity that orchestrated this outbreak might still be on this world.
Perhaps you should evaluate the option to capture it alive, Inquisitor.
Always on the hunt for forbidden knowledge, right, Magos? The afflicted section has been cleared. I will return to the ship before heading into the bowels of the city.
May I remind you that as long as the pathogen remains virulent in the host population, your achievement will be temporary.
When I burn out the source of this blasphemous plague, the Officio Medicae can deal with the survivors. We know that the Alpha Pariah has the unique ability to completely destroy daemons instead of simple banishment, but we have no idea how that works.
True. The data we have on her abilities is scarce, and her previous encounter with a greater demon on the Martyr could be an anomaly.
That is why I want her to join me on the chaos-infested world during my mission. Her powers could purge the infestation.
You are experimenting with a live subject, Inquisitor. An idea worthy of a tech priest.
Sometimes you need to resort to unorthodox methods, I suppose.
I will prepare the Alpha subject and have the teleportarium ready when you call for her.
The time has come for you to join me on a priority mission. It is time to test your abilities and determination.
Before I say anything, What am I supposed to do?
We will enter a hive in the thralls of a chaos infestation. I want you to employ your powers to put an end to that foul contamination.
No! Absolutely not! I lived through that nightmare countless times. Walls thick with muck, the shambling shadows on the corridors, the growling of those creatures. No!
Your fear of chaos is understandable, but you are far from defenseless. And this was not a request, by the way.
Are you willing to kill me if I disobey? Or am I too valuable for that?
I would do anything in my power to save the Imperium from destruction. Would you?
I would. But you must know that I'm truly terrified. What if I lose control over my powers?
You will not. This is why we need to test your abilities out there.
You are right. I think. Yes, I will accompany you.
You are approaching the site where the plague originated. Beware. The sensors are indicating increasing warp activity in the area.
Splendid. This Nurgle infestation is a gift that keeps on giving. In any case, it is the perfect opportunity to test the Alpha Pariah's unique abilities.
I don't even know what I should do.
Just do whatever you have already done several times when you try to protect yourself. It is time. Unleash your powers on the Horde.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
This is your destiny. This is what you are. Should you fail to comply, you will probably die.
It is too much. I don't know if I can control it. Yes, I can do this. Perish!
By the Emperor. Her powers are definitely growing, but she has no control over her abilities. Tech Priest, I need her back on the ship now.
Experiencing recurring calibration problems. Warp anomalies combined with the subject's distortion field are hindering return teleportation.
This location is extremely unsafe for her.
Correct. Sensors indicate large hostile forces inbound.
I need the Space Marine down here. You can send him down here, right?
It was wise of you to call this time. No one will withstand my righteous fury.
Try to keep your head clear, Ford. And focus on the protection of the Alpha Pariah. Her survival is paramount.
Rest assured, not a single abomination will live long enough to get to her.
Tech Priest, why haven't you evacuated the Alpha Pariah yet?
Calibrating teleportarium sequences. Chance of failure calculated unacceptable. Suggestion: nullify the source of Imperium fluctuations.
That was hardly a revelation. Find a solution.
Tell me, Inquisitor, is this young woman really worth all this trouble? Not that I need any excuse to kill the filth. Just wondering.
She is an Imperial citizen, Thorn, and a very important one to that.
She is also a pariah. And I just can't help feeling instant, deep revulsion when I'm around her. Not to mention her natural powers.
She can destroy demons, Thorn. The galaxy is burning. Those powers are the most valuable assets we have ever had against the ruinous powers.
Calibration complete. Estimated chances of successful teleportation are currently at 95%.
And what happens to the Sergeant and the Alpha Pariah in the case of an unsuccessful teleport?
Their physical bodies will disintegrate. Regarding the spiritual component, you can access reference material flagged as unconfirmed.
If we lose the Pariah due to a faulty teleport, there will be consequences.
Do you see how fragile your master's so-called Imperium is? How imperfect you all are? This insight is a gift from our benefactor.
Who would that be? Another pitiful traitor yearning for vengeance on his former kind?
Alas, I cannot share his name with you, but rest assured, his genius will turn the Caligari sector into the most beautiful garden of Nurgle.
Not on my watch. I will burn out this rot with the sacred fire of the Emperor.
Such fervor! A true pity that I must kill you so abruptly. Why not? Your flesh will spawn wonderful gifts for the Grandfather.
This is most disturbing. The entire epidemic was a ploy to lure Inquisitors here. By the Emperor. The Primogenitor.
Ah! Inquisitor. I've been expecting you. I am truly disappointed, though, that you came alone.
Spare me the grand monologue, you abomination.
I've been hunting your kind for a long time, but I never dared to hope that the Dark Gods would send me the one who has the Alpha Pariah. Tell me, where is she now?
I'd suggest you prepare for more disappointment, creature.
The Anathema Ultima, the Alpha subject. Call her whatever you want, but she is mine! I have been trying to reclaim my precious experiment since that perfidious Tiberius cheated her out of my hands!
You might begin to see a pattern here.
Oh no, I will take you alive, Inquisitor. We will experiment, you and I, to see where the threshold of suffering lies for you. Then you will be ready to denounce your master and beg for my forgiveness. You simply cannot defeat me. Should you be victorious this time, will not matter. You will have to face me again and again until you yield.
Fabius Bile! Your existence is a curse upon this world. Judgment will finally find you.
Another Inquisitor? This plan seems to be working splendidly, if I do say so myself.
For your innumerable crimes, your sentence is death. Delivered here and now.
You are wasting the dwindling resources of your pathetic Imperium. I am one of many. Even if you succeeded, you would accomplish nothing. But you won't.
Lies upon lies. The judgment of the Emperor is upon you, heretic.
Inquisitor, next time I expect you to bring what belongs to me. Until then...
You set me up, Inquisitor. What's worse, you have risked an extremely important Imperial asset. I should bring this to the Conclave.
Spare me the indignation. My order knew that Fabius Bile is here in the Caligari sector, and we have been hunting for that traitor for a very long time.
And from your perspective, the demise of Bile is the ultimate priority.
Obviously. Appreciate the irony, Inquisitor. Bile set a trap for us that we used to entrap Bile.
And still, he escaped. I strongly advise that you refrain from using the Alpha Pariah as a bait in the future.
Inquisitor, we have a breach on the lower levels. We are under attack by a Dark Elder raiding party.
The Drukhari? Cowardly marauders attacking an Inquisitorial ship?
It is strange indeed, but right now my main concern is that my ship is crawling with sadistic Xenos pirates.
Calm down. I will show them the error of their ways.
The Tech Priest has stationed a host of combat servitors on the decks. The Automator will slow them down, but only temporarily.
I'm on my way. I will take Thorn with me.
I'm beginning to appreciate the persistence of these Dark Eldar. They give me ample opportunity to strike fear into their rotten hearts.
The Drukhari breached Section Theta 7, so they will have to cut through here on their way to the vaults.
Well, they can try. There is a maintenance hole ahead. We could take up defensive positions there.
We are in position. Your usual subtle tactics will suffice, Sergeant, I suppose.
We really shouldn't overcomplicate these matters. I will heap the corpses high as a tribute to the Emperor.
Looks like your wish will be granted. We should expect several waves of hostiles.
We are done with the rebel. But where is the leader? I want to tear that cowardly worm apart.
The dreadful Marauder didn't want to get his hands dirty.
What else would you expect from a Drukhari?
Inquisitor, bioscans are complete. The remaining Xenos invaders have been located.
Very well. They deserve a proper lesson for their arrogance.
No pity, Inquisitor. The Xenos taint must be purified from this ship.
You should have fled again when I killed your friends.
How did they know about the Alpha Pariah?
It is indeed a most pressing question. We cannot leave her unguarded. The Drukhari have proven that they are the masters of ambush, and they can strike with their cloaked vessels from the webway. From now on, you are on constant guard duty, Sergeant.
Understood, Inquisitor. Although I still believe you could benefit more from my presence on the field of battle.
As per your request, I have executed thorough analytical sermons, focusing on the Alpha subject's mental stability.
Give me a brief update.
The Alpha subject seems to bear the traces of deep mental conditioning, most probably conducted during her early sessions with Uther Tiberius.
Does that affect her abilities?
Probably not. Her will is adamant, but it might result in erratic behavior, which is quite a risk with her capabilities.
Inquisitor, there is an astropathic message for you from an agent of the Ordo Xenos. The embedded emotional markings indicate that it is urgent.
Inquisitor. I am Inquisitor Theodon Mercer of the Ordo Xenos, currently stationed on Heliodor 4, vigorously protecting the Inquisitorial archives, with special regard to the sensitive materials stored in the vaults. I will cut to the chase. I urgently need your help. You are probably wondering why I have contacted you, and rightly so. The facility where I'm holed up is under the attack by the Tuathal Aeldari. If I am not mistaken, you have already made their acquaintance. They are looking for classified Ordos material on... how shall I put it? On the unique presence you have on your ship. I hope I have your interest now. Help me out and I can promise you the answers you seek. I also have Amasek and cigars. The Emperor protects.
How can this Inquisitor know about the Alpha Pariah?
I have no idea. He left me no choice, though. I must find this Mercer and talk to him. Captain, this world is fighting off an Aeldari invasion. The epicenter of this incursion is the Holy Archives of the Inquisition. Inquisitor Mercer, as the appointed guardian, must be there.
Something is causing severe interference in the target zone. We are trying, but the authors are not functioning.
Whatever is causing the interference must be deactivated first.
Electro anomalies are emanating from an unidentified piece of Xenos technology, located in a wave servant.
Inquisitor, how nice of you to join me in this scuffle.
You have a knack for sending intriguing emergency messages. Why did the Eldar attack an Inquisitorial archive?
The Aeldari seem to be displaying great interest in certain documents.
The Eldar brought an entire army just for some records.
Well, you can't really blame them for a few theatrics. Feel free to blame them for anything else, though.
or they are trying to find some highly classified material.
Look, you have my full cooperation, but how about helping me out first? I've never been one for grand heroics, but soon I'll be out of options.
I have your location now. On my way. I have located and secured the entrance to the archives.
Feel free to visit me in my humble abode, then.
Tell me more about these Aeldari Invaders.
They have arrived with a fairly substantial force, I'm afraid. Their Farseer will resort to his favorite tactics and use Wraith Constructs to get to the data vault.
You sound like you know him very well.
Actually, we go way back. And in case you wondered, yes, his heartwarming visit is related to that unique person on your ship.
That is all classified. You should have informed me about the Farseer's information.
Have you ever tried making conversation with a Farseer? It's like interpreting a fever dream. I didn't even realize what his words meant at the time.
We are in time. Turrets are still operational.
That's a relief. Considering my history with the Conclave, I wouldn't want to have to explain the destruction of the data vault to them.
I'm still baffled as to why the Eldar dedicated such efforts to invading this place.
They must think that they'll find something here they can use to save their craft world. You must not forget that the Aeldari are a dying race, clinging to every shred of hope.
You are demonstrating almost alarming levels of empathy.
So this is their target. This data vault stores classified inquisitorial records. Judging by the classification entries, the dossier on the Martyr investigation could also be here.
The Eldar must have been trying to locate the Martyr.
I'd rather put it differently. They have been definitely after the Alpha Pariah.
It's possible. She could be the most potent tool for cleansing their infested craft world.
Absolutely. Therefore, they will not retreat until their Farseer is dead.
Inquisitor Mercer, fate has brought us together again.
I wish we had met under different circumstances.
This is the path we must walk, and it ends here for one of us. Before I become part of the Infinity Circuit, you must know something.
You could begin with the truth.
We never wanted to harm that unique individual. We only wanted to take her to our craft world.
You wanted to cleanse your dying world?
That is our only purpose.
And why did you need these Imperial archives?
I have no interest in your petty secrets, but I saw that you would come. You, the key to the Anathema Ultima. The Harlequin warned us not to take this path, but we didn't have any choice.
What can you tell me about the Harlequin?
She cannot be trusted. She has her own agenda. She walks the seventh path. Her fate is linked to the Whispering One.
I have answered your plea and launched a rescue operation to save you. You still owe me some answers about the Alpha Pariah.
I'll be completely honest with you. I can't answer your questions. Wait! Don't do anything impulsive. I know someone who can help you.
And who would that be?
A Harlequin. You'll be pleased to hear that you have already met her.
You are playing a dangerous game here, Inquisitor.
This is not a game, and we both know the Harlequins hold the key to many secrets. I'm talking about the fabled Black Library, of course. The source of all ancient and forbidden knowledge.
The existence of the library is known only to a few Eldar, and even fewer are allowed to enter.
The Harlequins are the exception. See? It was worth hearing me out.
I don't like the way you've set me up, Inquisitor, but I need answers. Do you happen to know where I can find this Harlequin?
As a matter of fact, I do. On the planet Loriark.
The exterminated maiden world of Craftworld Tuathal?
One of the few truly charming corners of the subsector.
I can only imagine. That is my next destination, then.
Careful down there, Inquisitor. The world is crawling with Tyranids.
My main concern is not those Xenos, but another one in particular. Are you certain that the Harlequin will be here?
I am, as much as one can be, certain about Harlequins. But I know her, and I'm confident you'll meet her.
It is surprisingly quiet at the moment.
The Tyranids are hibernating, but trust me, your arrival will stir them up mightily.
A precise and surgical strike is what I need now. Send me the coordinates of the Harlequin.
There are 3 webway gates in the area. The Harlequin could be near any of them.
Inquisitor, I have troubling news. Judging by the Argo reconnaissance, the entire area is showing Tyranid activity on immense scale.
That might be problematic. It sounds like I have to face a Xenos army.
May I make a proposal? Why don't we recruit Noble Sakaradoc, the pilot of the Crimson Wanderer, again?
It is a sound idea, Captain, but he could be anywhere in the sector. Now I'm beginning to see why the threat of the isolated Tyranid diaspores led the Adeptus Mechanicus to order Exterminatus.
Yes, that was the sad fate of this maiden world.
The current situation proves, though, that even an Exterminatus might not be enough.
What is more disturbing is that this proves that this particular hive mind acted like a highly intelligent being and used cold logic.
We must talk, Harlequin. Seriously this time. I have fought my way here.
No, human. You have barely started fighting. The true battle only begins now.
My tolerance for your riddles has not increased greatly since last time.
Still, you are exactly where you need to be. Not far from here, upon the plains of despair, where the towers no longer sing laments, lies the ruin of the Shrine of the Prophecy.
I've warned you about talking in riddles, haven't I?
Your kind call it the Viscerum Prophecy. That is where the corrupted wanderer, the one you call Uther Tiberius, followed the same visionary words.
Tell me about the shrine.
Why? You would not understand it. The shrine holds great power, which is why the Devourers are drawn to it. I will lead you there once the path is clear.
And if I refuse to play my part in your wicked theatrics?
Then the Nexus will open, and its purple gaze will fall upon your falling empire, Inquisitor.
You sound just as insane as I thought. However, I have an idea about that swarm.
I will join you in the endless dance of death after you have walked through fire and flames.
I have good news. The Freeblade Knight is awaiting deployment against the Tyranids, and Sir Ambrose Caradoc is currently reciting the prayers of sacred recalibration in the hangar.
That zone is the epicenter of the infestation. He needs to be prepared.
Another heroic quest to cull the enemies of mankind. Glory to the Emperor! I admire your sense of dedication, but focus on your mission. The threat you are about to face is immense. What else would a solitary knight seek, if not a relentless battle? And a victory against all the odds! The zone of your current engagement is swarming with Tyranids. I must also warn you about the venomous clouds obstructing large areas. Trust me and the Crimson Wanderer, my brother in battle. I am not your battle brother, sir, but I wish you a good fight. You must clear the entire area so the Inquisitor can proceed to the target location. Will this unholy tide ever subside? The Wanderer is wading knee-deep in their corpses, and still they fight! I feel your frustration, Violet. I have fought Tyranid only once. Rest assured, of all the filth of the galaxy, I hate those involved most fiercely.
The Squire Skulls are reporting new activity. The massacre has drawn out the Synapse creature as expected.
My experience in Xenos matters is limited to fighting them, Inquisitor. Is this development good or bad?
It is quite subjective, I'm afraid. You will be facing a truly monstrous creature. However, it also possesses a psychic power that unites the Tyranids of this swarm. so killing it makes them lose control.
Abomination! With the blade of my blessed weaponry, I will banish you! Inquisitor, the swarm is no more! The Crimson Wanderer has fulfilled its sacred duty. The area has been cleared. The machine spirit of my knight will need some soothing psalms after all this taint.
The last act in this grand tragedy will soon unfold, human. Are you willing to take the stage?
I must warn you that to manipulate an Inquisitor is not the brightest idea, Eldar.
Always so furious. So short-sighted. I am not your weak-willed subordinate.
Insolence! You have clearly betrayed me.
This stone once absorbed the soul of a seer, the greatest pathfinder in the Garden of Ever-Changing Roads. I need it. We need it to walk the seventh path. This is the first curio of fate I need.
Are you willing to cooperate?
On one condition.
What would that be?
You really, really need to survive your next battle. I've promised you answers, human. So, you will have your answers.
Did you lead me here on purpose?
I might have manipulated you to help me take the Spirit Stone from this scorched pit of despair our planet has become. Yes.
Did you lie about everything? The prophecy? The Alpha Pariah?
I cannot lie. My role forbids it. Your Inquisitor brother knows that. That's why you were sent here. Clever, clever Mercer. I weave my words too carefully for lies.
Enough of this. Do you know the answer to my question or not?
There is a place deep within the maze that spreads between the real space and the warp. And in the heart of that living, twisting labyrinth lies the Black Library.
You are stalling again. I'm losing patience with you, Eldar.
The library is a repository of forbidden knowledge, a vast collection of books still unwritten or lost forever. And I stole the prophecy from its darkest vaults.
You had it the entire time?
I told you I didn't lie. Take the prophecy. It is yours.
I swear that's the last time I deal with the Aeldari. What do you make of this ancient prophecy, Magos?
The tech priest considers it pure Xenox nonsense. My opinion is more nuanced, but I can't see any practical use for it either.
You are being too harsh. The prophecy alludes to certain facts that we know are valid.
You are willing, then, to accept the existence of a million-year-old artifact, created by a race long extinct, that somehow had knowledge of the birth of beings like her?
Uther's research was based on ancient Fabricatus technology. The existence of the Alpha Pariah could easily be the result of this prophecy. In that case, the Pariah needs the artifact to control her powers and fulfill her true potential. Otherwise, she presents grave danger to everyone.
Do you have a destination for me?
I have faced some daunting tasks, but finding an unknown artifact created by a long-extinct race sounds impossible. The tech priest has scoured the available inquisitorial archive of classified data troves. Nothing.
Luckily, we have an acquaintance who knows his way around the system.
Are you referring to Nathaniel Grexus, the resourceful rogue trader captain with a shady past?
In his youth, Grexus made a fortune as a trader in Xenos relics. He has abandoned that particular career since then, but he must have kept his contacts.
I suppose you might have an idea as to his whereabouts.
We have exchanged messages recently. He was on his way to the mining world Arcadus.
Then we will follow him. He will surely be glad to see us.
The tech priest has sent out several scryer skulls. We have a hit on Grexus.
And what is our old friend doing here exactly?
May I hazard a guess? Old Nathaniel Grexus must be quite busy with one of his suspicious deals.
This area is a hideout for rebellious deserters. Whatever he is doing here, I will most certainly not approve.
Are you willing to face an army of rebels?
They will have a chance to show penitence. They had a chance to show penitence. Now they have left me no choice.
We have the picked feed from the Scryer Skulls.
You have betrayed me, you filthy rat! First, call me a rat again and I will break your jaw. Secondly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? An Imperial agent has landed in the zone. Tell me it was not you.
Don't you dare pin this on me, you scoundrel.
Snitches like you deserve death. But we can use you as a hostage. Lads, watch this filth while I deal with this mess.
Great. Old Grexus is being, well, himself again.
I have no time to lose. The contacts of Captain Grexus seem to dabble in Prometheum smuggling as well. These rebels have a shadowy benefactor with the moniker The Savant. Could be an important lead.
Inquisitor! What a sight for sore eyes.
Not a remark that I hear often, I must admit.
I bet. But you have saved my precious hide again. Praise the Emperor.
I had some pressing reasons to seek you out, Grexus.
I sense a recurring pattern here, Inquisitor. I'm always glad to help the Imperium. So tell me, Inquisitor, how can I assist the Imperium today?
I hear that you are an expert on Xenos relics.
Oh, well, I've only dabbled in the fine arts, unless you want to transport them unnoticed by Imperial authorities. Then I am definitely your man.
Let us pretend I didn't hear that. I am trying to locate a unique Xenos artifact.
In that case, I might know of someone who could be of help. They call him the Savant.
The shadowy figure behind your criminal friends.
Who said anything about friends? I was led to believe that they conduct legitimate business. Or misled, rather. That Savant, on the other hand, is far from a law-abiding citizen. He, or she, is running an operation dealing in black market Xenos art in the subsector.
And where could I find this Savant?
I have no idea. But I can lead you to the base of those despicable gentlemen you have just obliterated. Righteously, of course. They are business partners now.
I hope that your assumption is correct, and I will find information about the Savant's whereabouts there.
And now comes the hard part. You will need to make these unworthy Imperial subjects reveal the location of the Savant.
I don't have time to deal with prisoners and interrogations.
Noospheric analysis shows various cogitators in the area, all properly cleansed and maintained.
Good suggestion. Those machines are probably being actively used by these rebels to conduct their operations. They might provide the information I need. I wonder what this machine does.
The cogitator data is fragmented. Crypto litanies are remarkably well-versed for those unskilled in the tech mysteries.
Can you decipher it?
A larger sample would exponentially lower the estimated time cost of the procedure.
So much for a surgical strike. I will clear the areas and access the other cogitators. I would rather have my tech priest dealing with these.
Still no data on the location of the person of interest. Located an infotone tagged Fabricatus and Requillery, though.
That unique term again. What could you find out about them?
Data serfs recently finished combing through the material. Warning, 99.9% speculation.
Give me a summary.
The Fabricatus were a Xenos race, confined to the Caligari sector. Extinct for several millions of standard years. Hypothesis, based on Fabricatus archaeofragments. These Xenos tried to adapt Necron technology, with no significant result.
I would rather have have my tech priest dealing with it.
Encrypted business transaction and financial correspondence analyzed between local subjects and a person with the name tag Savant. Astra Telepathica codes identify the system and the world where the messages originated.
Then we have what we were looking for. It's time to pay a visit to this Savant.
Be prepared for anything, Inquisitor. The Savant has a fearsome reputation in my circles.
Hopefully the agents of the Ordos have a similar reputation in your circles. Did you verify the coordinates we had for that mysterious Savant?
I did, Inquisitor. It is on Dvorgov, a quarantine world still infested by Tyranids which could spell trouble. Speaking of trouble, there is also an astropathic transmission for you from an Inquisitor of the Ordo Malleus.
I'm Inquisitor Corax, a demon hunter of the Ordo Malleus, and I require your immediate attention. We need your assistance in a most important matter. Find me on my stronghold in the Venta system. Corax out.
Change of plans, Inquisitor?
No. If you ask me, the Demon Hunters are a secretive branch of the Inquisition, with an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Corax can wait. I must find the Savant first. Tech Priest, I need some ideas. How can I find a secret hideout in a desolate void port?
The decree of tech preservation guarantees the long-term maintenance of our sacred data vaults, even on worlds deemed temporarily uninhabitable.
If I understand you correctly, the Cogitator network must be functioning, and it could provide clues about the area.
The assumption is correct.
All this wreckage bears the sigils of the Adeptus Mechanicus. What happened here? This is interesting. This retinue was working for a techno-archaeologist. It could be the Savant we seek.
I presume the contingent was trying to eradicate the local Tyranid threat.
Quite the contrary. They were trying to gain control of the Xenos population.
I keep an open mind, but even I find that idea hard to swallow. On another note, the data slate contains location tags for their home base.
Where is it?
We have no information as yet. The tech priest is working on it. See that Vox station? There's an incoming transmission.
An attempt to communicate. Good. My target must be getting nervous.
You have entered Research Zone 17. Trespassing is strictly prohibited. You must leave immediately.
You must be the Savant. I am an agent of the Holy Ordos, and I have questions for you.
I only answer to the Machine God, Inquisitor. The work I'm doing here is of paramount importance. We must be prepared for the return of the Hive Fleet.
This is treachery, and you will pay for your insolence. What are you doing here, Tech Priest?
Displaying necessary initiative. Accessing the mainframe requires knowledge of Tier 4 administrative charts. Defend the area while the process is being completed.
I appreciate your resourcefulness, but next time you must ask my permission first.
For your information, Inquisitor, I will record your combat for further analysis. First I found your intrusion bothersome, but I realize that your presence here grants me the opportunity to study the combat patterns of the Tyranids more thoroughly. You are doing the work of the Omnissiah.
A new wave of Tyranids is approaching. Stay alert, Inquisitor.
I have spent decades working on my synaptic swalo generator unit, but it was a failure. I set out to build a device that could control the Tyranids, and it was deemed impossible. But I can't give up on my vision yet. The persistence of my misguided brother there is getting frustrating, Inquisitor. Just like your unwelcome visit. I know you want to judge me, but I seek to save the Imperium. These organisms pose a huge threat, but if we could find a way to control them one day, just think about the potential.
Bioscans show no more incoming hostiles. Also, data analysis complete. Voidport structural records have been processed. The location of the underground facility is available.
Excellent. It is time to pay a visit to that treacherous madman and discuss these experiments. I must reach the inner sanctum of this facility.
You might find it difficult to believe me, Inquisitor, but I truly don't want to kill you. But now you leave me no choice. Inquisitor, you have victoriously overcome all the obstacles I placed in your way. I am humbled, but also amused.
I didn't come here to judge you for your sins, but you have left me no choice.
I have been following the orders of my Fabricator General. This is a secret research sanctum preparing for the return of the Hive Fleet. It was all classified.
Or that is what you want me to believe.
Is there any way I can convince you that I am a loyal Imperial subject?
We will see. I seek an ancient Xenos relic, once crafted by the extinct Fabricatus race.
That is a relief, because I can help you with that. The Xenotech relics of the Fabricators has been an obsession of mine for a long time.
And financing your heretical experiments by smuggling Xenos relics was just a coincidence.
Pursuing my work requires resources.
I need a particular artifact from their long-lost homeworld, but I don't know where it is.
I have that information, which I obtained in unfortunate circumstances. I sent an expedition there once, but they encountered the Aeldari and quickly met their demise.
And what happened after that?
Why do you think I'm hiding in the middle of a Tyranid-infested planet? The Eldar may look like fools, but they are dangerous.
Prepare for your judgment. I have the information I've been looking for. I'll return to the ship now.
I am not in the habit of allowing anyone to ignore my summons. We're engaged in the most devastating battle the Caligari sector has ever witnessed.
Is the situation connected to that abnormal warp rift in the system?
It is. We call it the Dark Nexus. A bloated, terrible warp anomaly, continuously expanding. We could be witnessing the birth of another Eye of Terror.
By the Emperor? That is a very bold and unsettling assertion.
Just think about it, Inquisitor. Another sub-reality in the Imperium, existing within both the real space and the warp, would open up a new front with an endless tide of enemies.
And how could I assist your battle?
As I've been notified by Inquisitor Krabat from the Ordo Hereticus, you have an asset on your ship, with extraordinary capabilities against the warp. It could help us.
The asset is a she, not an it. And indeed, your information correlates with an ancient prophecy about the potential of the Alpha Pariah. But before we could even begin to discuss how she could help us, I must find an artifact that would channel her abilities. Otherwise, there might be grave consequences.
I pray to the Emperor that you find that artifact soon. We will talk later.
My priority is to find those Fabricatus ruins for the relic.
Scryer's skull feed indicates that the coordinates received from the Tech Heretic lead to the former camp of his retinue.
That will be my first destination. Logging new observation. The Fabricatus race knew about the Pariah gene, and they were experimenting with it millions of standard years ago. They were trying to create a unique creature, combining the abilities of Psychos and Pariahs, capable of ruling the warp. I have a strong suspicion that Uther Tiberius tried to complete the same experiment. Perhaps the last missing component was this Fabricatus artifact.
Coordinates gained from the salvaged cogitator show the location of the ruins.
I need more information on that area.
Sensors indicate the presence of numerous architectural remains and a significant Aeldari war host.
The Savant wasn't lying then. The Eldar are here, and I find that disturbing.
Their presence clearly correlates with their previous interest in the Alpha subject. Therefore, your assessment is an understatement.
The Eldar are mobilizing surprisingly large forces down here.
May I propose something, Inquisitor? Turns out that those crafty Xenos have a webway portal in the area. They will not be back down until you cut off their reinforcements.
That is indeed true. I must destroy that webway portal first. That's the webway portal. I only need to get closer.
Inquisitor, wait! Something is happening down there, by the Emperor. What are these constructs? Or are they creatures?
Well, well. The Eldar have brought in their war machines. That relic must be very important for them.
You should return to the ship immediately.
I have an even better idea. Captain, alert Sir Ambrose. We need the Crimson Wanderer down here for a noble joust.
Your directive is quite straightforward, pilot. You must destroy those Wraith Lords, that is all.
What a glorious day! I've never had the chance to match weapons with Aeldari combat walkers!
Your arrogance will be your downfall. There are 3 of those Xenos Knights on the battlefield.
Rejoice, friends! The nimble Wraith Lord has fallen!
It is too early to celebrate your victory, pilot. You still have 2 Eldar constructs to defeat.
As it has been written, the steel giant tramples through the Garden of Bones.
Wait, what is this? Who are you, creature?
I weep and I mourn for the lithe dancer, even if I comprehended this had to happen.
Don't mind her annoying Xenos ways. She is... well, I don't know if she is our ally or enemy at the moment, and that bothers me.
We are standing on the same stage, Wingless Angel. The one who never died must be reborn, and this is the price we must pay. Another star flickers and dies in the eternal night.
It was an admirable adversary, my lady.
Twins, both of them heroes, one of them dead, one alive, encased in wraithbone, now fading away.
Good work, pilot. The constructs are gone, and no more reinforcements can get through the gate.
That was a battle to remember. I am grateful for the opportunity. Praise the Emperor!
We have the up-to-date Arga information. The vicinity of the ruins is swarming with Tuathal Aeldari.
At least the Crimson Wanderer took care of the potential reinforcements.
The Elder will pose a considerable threat. Have you thought about deploying Sir Caradoc again?
I cannot risk the safety of the artifact by sending in a war machine with the most devastating weaponry in the entire system.
Noted. The Tech Priest is trying to scan the area for further information.
I'm on my way to the ruins. Contact me when the Tech Priest is finished with the scans.
I find your stubbornness astonishing, human. You have caused enough pain and suffering already. Whatever is hiding under that force field, it is ours.
Area scan completed. Highly irregular energy signature located.
How does that help me exactly?
The presence of an energy field, evidently generated by Xenos technology, must indicate the location of the relic you seek.
I must be on the right track then. I've been wondering for a while how this relic could have survived for countless millennia. But now I know.
Analysis. Impenetrable energy field. Signature identical to the force field protecting the status chamber of the Martyr.
That barrier needed to be deactivated via a specific key.
Theory. The powers of the Alpha subject might interact with the field.
Inquisitor, you have incoming.
Sergeant, I need the Alpha Pariah. Send her to me.
Allow me to join the fight, Inquisitor.
Anything could happen to us here, Thorn. Anything. If I do not make it back, you must deliver all my findings to the Conclave.
Affirmative.
Are you serious, Inquisitor? I feel a resonance with this thing, but none of us know what will happen if I step closer.
I give you an artifact from the dawn of the universe, the key that might unlock your true potential, and suddenly you are afraid?
I was only making an observation in the light of my recent ordeals. I hope you don't expect me to apologize.
My expectations are irrelevant. My orders matter, however.
If this is indeed my legacy, you can expect a heartfelt apology from me.
We will discuss your impertinence later. Now proceed.
Bravo! What a fabulous performance. Inquisitor, my only remaining part in this play is to take the Alpha Pariah with me and let the curtain fall.
I knew that I couldn't trust you. You have manipulated me, Eldar.
I have merely woven all the threads together, twinning the fate of the Tauthal Aeldari and yourself, Inquisitor, until you all made this moment happen together.
I have warned you once. Playing games with an Inquisitor is dangerous, even for your kind.
This is not a game, human. The Anathema Ultima must be adorned with the Crown of Emptiness. Only then will she enter the Immaterium to fulfill a destiny both frightening and majestic.
I suspect that you have other plans for her.
The Anathema Ultima is the brightest glimmer of hope for us. For the Inari, this is inevitable.
I was expecting at least some assistance from you.
It was your battle to fight, not mine.
And now you talk like the Harlequin. How are you feeling?
It is difficult to explain. My will is... It is a barbed, poisonous thing. And it is also smooth and cold as obsidian. And it is a weapon, and a key, and the tincture that heals the black wound on the world.
I don't like this. The Magos will take a look at you on the ship. We have gathered here to bring forth the prophecy that was foretold at the dawn of the galaxy. The Alpha Pariah shall be adorned by the Crown of Emptiness, and destroy the Dark Nexus by sailing into the Empyrean.
Very poetic, also fundamentally wrong. The Dark Nexus is not our priority here. Fabius Bile is one of the most abhorrent adversaries of the Empyrean. We shall attack his hideout. I have traveled here on the Martyr, now properly purged and blessed, with the zealots of my order on board. It should be a sufficient force.
So very hereticous of you. May I remind you that Bile's Starfort is inconveniently close to the most terrible warp anomaly ever seen in this sector?
Then use this Alpha Pariah to destroy Bile. That's where her true capabilities lie, don't they? Before we deal with the Dark Nexus, we have to eliminate the Primogenitor.
I must object. We simply cannot allow the Alpha Pariah to get close to Bile. That traitor played a huge part in her creation. What if he seizes control of her? Use her to obliterate the Dark Nexus, which is also the source of Bile's power. Then we will deal with the Primogenitor on our own.
You know the Alpha Pariah the best, Inquisitor. I think you should have your say before I chime in. It is most unfortunate, but I must respectfully disagree with your decision, Inquisitor. It seems we have reached an impasse. And honestly, this is her fate we are talking about. This should be her decision. Whatever action the Alpha Pariah takes, it will have colossal consequences. I simply don't have a say in this matter.
Nonsense! We are Inquisitors. We rule over life and death for the sake of the Imperium.
Inquisitor Mercer, I really appreciate your concerns. Inquisitor Crabart, I even see your point. But I made my decision a long time ago. I will follow the prophecy. But first, I will kill Fabius Bile. I have seen some of my unsuccessful iterations in Uther's laboratory. The cursed handiworks of Bile. I have to stop him and end this cycle of suffering and pain. I want to destroy that worm. On one condition.
What would that be?
You, Inquisitor, will accompany me, and and we will face Fabius Bile together.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, it has come to this. We are in the tainted fortress of the Primogenitor that even his own traitorous brothers despise and fear. That's what I was expected to say, right?
I find your increasing cynicism slightly troubling. The Drukhari? Here?
Barak was right. The creature is here. Take up and kill the Inquisitor.
I am not a creature.
I understand. The Drukhari only attacked Bile's fortress because they were certain that you would be there.
Uther expected that. He always thought that the Aeldari factions would be after me. That was one of the many reasons he kept me on a ship monastery.
They were following Bile's steps all the way to keep track on you. They must be desperate to capture or kill you.
Some abomination crawling out of the webway will not frighten me anymore, Inquisitor. Inquisitor, do you feel a constant, horrible sensation? Like walking in the nightmare of an insane mind?
The proximity of Dark Nexus plays tricks on reality. And by the way, that was a very poetic observation.
If you spend your waking hours in laboratories and meditation chambers, books become your best friends. You know, Uther was not entirely a monster. Still, I wish I could have faced him like I will face Bile soon.
There she is! Kill the monkey and take that creature!
I will enjoy watching you try.
You might have defeated my brother, but you should fear me.
Your brother? That was the bug we found crawling on our ship? He didn't put up much of a fight.
She is right. You'd better be off fleeing and finding someone weaker in your dark city to torture.
I don't want to torture her. Believe it or not, I am willing to forfeit pleasure for a greater goal. The Whispering God will have the Anathema Ultima. She will be devoured, and our time will come.
Not on my watch. Hopefully that was the last of the Drukhari raiding party.
Can we finally move along and kill that wretched Fabius Bile? Fate awaits.
Not before we purge this entire area. I don't want any surprises later.
It will be my pleasure.
Inquisitor Mercer, you might be surprised to hear that the Drukhari were following this Whispering God. That puts them in the same league as your treacherous Harlequin friend.
First, she was only a loose acquaintance. Secondly, such cooperation is not unheard of, although it is a fairly recent occurrence. Various Eldar and Dark Eldar groups are combining their forces to join that mysterious cult.
I find this development most troubling.
Says the Inquisitor who's on his way to fulfill an ancient prophecy.
The Hound of the Corpse Emperor. So glad you are here.
You almost sound relieved, traitor. So keen to atone for your sins.
Our master has been expecting you, Inquisitor, and you have come. Good. I like things to be predictable. You are unlike the Drukhari filth, storming us so unexpectedly. Most annoying.
We have fought our way through.
What are we waiting for then? I have a destiny to fulfill, remember?
Patience. We need to regroup on the ship. Then we can storm Bile's inner sanctum. Are you ready?
I'm not worried about Fabius Bile. I'm more intrigued by whatever comes after, in the great beyond.
I must warn you again. We have absolutely no idea what will happen to you when you sail through the Dark Nexus on the Martyr.
I know exactly what is awaiting for me there, Inquisitor. Freedom. Whatever fate has in store for me beyond that unholy rift, I can be myself there. I was created to serve a purpose in this world. I have accepted and fulfilled my destiny here.
You will set forth into the Empyrean, the realm of bloodthirsty gods, madness, and monsters. A place not meant for any human.
I am not human, Inquisitor. I've never been human.
And still, by letting the Dark Nexus consume you, you will do the most humane thing I have ever seen in this forsaken corner of the Imperium. We are in Bile's laboratory, the pulsing black heart of this accursed labyrinth.
Let's end this. Kill Fabius Bile so I can enter the great beyond.
Your task is to close the Dark Nexus, nothing else. What a vile display of sheer insanity.
This is not insanity, Inquisitor. Just cruelty and barbarism. I spit on this Primogenitor.
Bile probably never gave up his dreams to reconstruct, well, you. The churning effluvia of the Dark Nexus must provide enough energy for him to conduct his experiments.
Not anymore. I will take my revenge, sisters.
What a pleasant surprise, Inquisitor! Finally, you have delivered what belongs to me.
If I were you, I wouldn't be too thankful for that.
Enjoy the irony of your creature becoming your unmaking.
My child, you are as much Uther's creation as mine. The idea was his. I only provided my exceptional talents to make his vision come true. You are the pinnacle of my art. I'm sure you would attest to that, Inquisitor. I will have her back!
Tiberius wanted to send her against the warp. You wanted to use her to destroy the Imperium of Man.
Like all my other selves roaming this dying galaxy, I have exercised my genius to make my name immortal. If I can cause the fall of your corpse, Emperor, it will be a charming addition.
Your end is nigh.
A force to manipulate, to rule. The immaterium was an end worth pursuing. One day, even the so-called ruinous powers will bow before the new men.
Blasphemy!
You have betrayed everything, even your dark gods. Perish!
This is the end, then. At least for this clone of the foul Fabius Bile.
What you consider the end is a new beginning for me. Keep on fighting for the Imperium, Inquisitor. We might meet again one day.
I pray to the Emperor that we won't.
If anyone can hear me, this is my farewell. I am the Alpha Pariah. I am the Anathema Ultima. I am on the Martyr, flying into the Dark Nexus. I can feel the surge of endless possibilities. Uther was right. The Immaterium must be reshaped, ruled. There is no other way to survive the dark times. I am ready.
Sensor readings confirm that the Dark Nexus has closed.
The plan worked.
I wonder if the Alpha Pariah survived the collapse of the anomaly.
Her unique nature will protect her from the Immaterium. And don't forget that the machine spirit of the Martyr will follow the protocols and keep her safe.
I know that she was not to blame, but her presence made our skins crawl. It might be better for her, out there.
The unfortunate side effect of being a pariah.
What will become of her now?
Only the Emperor knows. She might become our greatest ally against the Chaos. She could become the greatest ally of Chaos. And maybe nothing will happen. We will probably never know, Captain.